I am going to hit 200 putts every single day for a month and see if my putting stats get any better. So because I am a huge golf nerd, I have kept the stats for the majority of rounds I've played since I started playing golf properly. In 2020, I averaged 36.9 putts per round. In 2021, I averaged 35.5 putts per round. And then currently so far in 2022, I have been averaging 34.5 putts per round. And that's over quite a considerable amount of rounds. So the only putting practice I do is probably around 5 minutes before actually starting. For this challenge, the putting practice I'm going to be doing is on carpet at home. Alright, I don't know if you guys will be able to notice this, but there's actually a little bit of break in the putt, which is a bit of a game changer. I'm going to be using a putt out pressure putt trainer, and I have chucked a link for this in the description below. This isn't sponsored by Putt Out. I literally have no idea if this is going to make my putting any better or not, so I guess we'll see. Because I'm putting on the carpet, my main focus is going to be on the line rather than the speed, and I'm probably going to focus on putts between probably 3 to about 10 foot. Greens and regulations seem to have a direct correlation to the total amount of putts I hit per round. And I guess that's not too surprising given that, you know, if you hit a green, you might be quite far away from the pin, whereas if you don't, you might chip it close. So due to this, and to account for, you know, good and bad days out on the course, I'm going to average my results over 10 rounds. I'll start working my way through these rounds probably about a week after starting my putting practice. So I played my first round today, and I have to be honest, I putted extremely poorly. In the front nine, I 3-putted 3 times, I think it was, and in the back nine, luckily I managed to save it with quite a few 1-putts. I ended up hitting 36 putts, so not quite the start that I expected, especially considering I think I've hit 1,200 putts in practice for this moment. I guess it's important to consider though, I'm going to be averaging this over 10 rounds, so I'm just hoping over the next 9 rounds that all improves. Game 2 done and dusted, so I hit 31 putts, which has tied the best putting round I've ever had, so I'm extremely stoked. It probably helped, I only hit 5 out of the 18 greens, so not a huge amount of green regulation, and then when I chipped, I was chipping it really close, so I left myself with a lot of 3 to 5 foot putts, and I seemed to knock most of those in, so really good putting round. We're trending in the right direction, so it's great. The results are in, folks. I completed all my putts a couple of weeks ago, and I have now completed all of my rounds. Plus, I've grown a pretty disgusting moustache, so feel free to give the video a like for that. Or, you know, just roast me in the comments. I'm happy either way. Now, I'm just gonna put it out there. This challenge has been extremely time consuming. I think I hit 6,000 putts over the course of the journey, and, you know, it really sucked. However, this challenge significantly improved my putting stats. My putting average went down for those 10 games to 31.9, which came down from 34.5. This is a huge improvement. My green and regulation average was a touch lower than it is usually. It was 32%, whereas I was averaging 34%. But that 2% I don't think would have a huge amount of difference on my stats. My 1-putts really skyrocketed, so I went up to 5.7 from 3.4. So that's a huge increase, and I think that's where I saved the majority of my shots putting. My 3-putt average actually went up slightly to 2 from 1.8, but pretty marginal difference there. Plus, for the first time ever, I shot back-to-back sub-80 rounds, and I dropped a couple of strokes off my handicap. Now, should you hit 200 putts every day at home? Absolutely not. Should you practice putting more? Absolutely. Even if it's just on the carpet at home, it made such a big difference for me, and I think you'd probably get similar gains just from, I don't know, 40 putts a day. And there you have it. This bloody time-consuming challenge is done. I am absolutely stoked. I'd love to know if you practice putting at home, and if you do, how you practice, whether you've got, I don't know, various tools, or if you do any drills, leave them down in the comment section below. I appreciate every single one of you watching this video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.